This is where you guys can sing a song.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconut. It's always my song.
Oh my gosh.
Where's my
And now I'm trying to
fix?
find the camera. Okay, I'm so glad that I'm recording and I'm looking stupid. Okay. But he's here. We've got a llama there with Kimberly. It's so exciting. Welcome, Miss. Can you believe this month is like half over?
No.
Can you believe it? I know. It's wild. Um,
Oh,
okay,
I-
that llama is cracking me up. I'm sorry. Like it is
we're
really cracking me up.
we're climbing the peaks of Machu Picchu here.
And Michaelin's joined.
Hi,
Okay, guys. Huh?
hello.
I am going to start. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and go around the table. Tell me your name, how long you've had your business. What do you love about May? Okay. What do you love about May for your life, your business, whatever? And let's see. Alicia, why don't you go first?
Okay, my name is Alicia. I have had my business for 15 years. What was the question? What do I love
About
about May?
May for your business, for your life, whatever.
Um, I like May because it is not cold anymore, but it hasn't like we haven't hit too many days of over 100.
All right, I can get into that.
And business wise, we get new products, which is always fun. And I think people are in good moods.
Yes, agreed with that. Okay, Regina.
I'm Regina. I've had my business 8 years, and May, both my daughters are born in May, so I like May.
It's a good month. Good month. Okay, there's two Alicias now. Okay, Janelle, your turn.
My turn. Janelle Parker. Had my business a little over 13 years, and I have lots of birthdays in May, from mine to my daughters and a niece and a nephew, and yeah, lots of birthdays and Mother's Day, and it's just generally nice weather
Yep. All
up
right.
here too.
Okay, Debbie.
Hi, I'm Debbie. I've had my business for 3 years now again. And May's a good month. It has a lot of holidays. So the flowers are beautiful in May also. Any We usually try and go to the coast in May because where we go over near Monterey is Pacific Grove, and the purple ice plant is all along the coastline. It's beautiful.
Love it.
So that's a really good thing about May. Plus, we have Mother's Day. Since I have 10 grandchildren, they're all seem to be graduating every year. So we have graduations every May, the end of the
The
month.
water,
And then we
water
have
has been
Mother's Day
wonderful.
and Cinco de Mayo. There's lots of holidays to celebrate. So, yeah,
Beautiful.
May's a good month.
Okay. All right, Kimberly.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kimberly. I've had my business for 3 years, just over 3 years. And May is usually a very busy but really good month for me professionally. It signals the wind down for the end of the school year.
Yes.
But like Debbie, this one happens to be bittersweet because my youngest son is graduating next month. His last day of school is next Friday, so it's a little bit bittersweet, and I'm a little bit emotional. almost every day, but it's a good thing. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be really strange not to have one of my kids or adjacent kids, their friends, in my school with me next year. It'll be strange.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've pretty much been with me since middle school. Yeah. So this is it for me. But
yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited to wind down the year and have a nice summer off and have a nice break. So
beautiful. Love it. Michaelin, how about you? She may or may not be able to come on. Okay, Donna, how about you? Who are you?
Who am I? I'm the amazing Donna Hardin.
Woo!
Yay. And I don't know what the question was, but
What do you love about May?
what do I love about May? You know what I really love about May? It's spring going into summer, but it's still cool enough that you can go out and enjoy your patio and not be eaten up by mosquitoes. I really, really, really like that.
Love it. You know what I hear? Okay, so first of all, I'm Amy Novak. I've been in business for 23 years. And, what I heard about May, I love all of the things. I love that my kids are like out of school and they're still home, but they're in and out. But I love it when school's out. Oh, I love it when school's out. Um, and but I heard a lot of reasons to get together with people, graduations and birthdays and spring and all the things, so use those things to your advantage, ladies. This Saturday, we've got skincare class and foundation matching here at my house at 11 on Saturday. So it's not too late to invite people. I got somebody today. I booked another appointment for 2 weeks from then. I just want to encourage you, okay, who's been with, let's see, I know Alicia and Debbie and Kim, we all played with the foundations. What did you guys find with playing with the foundations?
I like that they were light, as I mentioned in our last in-person meeting. I tend to use like CC or something like that, and I'm not heavy on foundation, but it just felt good on my skin.
Okay.
It was super light. It was pretty easy to match. It was pretty easy to match, and so I think the conversion and then the app once it's up and going good, it would be helpful for our customers. So I like them.
Last Tuesday it was a lot easier to match last Tuesday than Saturday. Alicia brought a guest. Alicia, how many foundations did we put on her?
Like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm finding that the conversion chart sometimes is really good and sometimes it doesn't really work, and it just depends on the person's face. So y'all take advantage, unless you're all getting all the foundations, I really want to encourage you, take advantage of coming to my house and using my stuff. Okay. Does that make sense? All right. Debbie, did you want to add anything to that? Because you were here Tuesday too.
I didn't use enough, I don't think, of it really. And here's something really funny is I usually wore Ivory C110 and it was a little bit light. So then I had tried the beige C110 and that was okay, but it seemed like it was actually more yellowy on my skin. So today I had an expired Ivory N160 and I hadn't tried it yet. And I put it on and it went exactly like my skin. So, I mean, now, but then that night we used medium 2 and I found out that Ivory and 160 can be matched with medium 2. So it was weird. But I also found another like conversion chart, kind of, but it was different than the ones we have, where it had some of the directors, I guess, that had already tried the
Yes.
product, and
Yes.
they had a number of how many people on the list used that color and everything. So it was really interesting.
Didn't I
And I
post that?
thought, well, that's a good thing because then you could take several of those colors to match instead of just using one.
Mm.
You know, like in that same frame, when you go up and down, it sometimes will probably take 4 or 5 colors to actually match somebody, I think.
I'm looking to see if I posted that because I know I saw it and I thought I posted it. I did post it.
Maybe that's where I got it from then.
Yeah. I posted it 4 days ago, and the heading says this might be an additional tool for you from a poll of 160 directors for foundation comparison. So you might want to check that out. But yeah, like in person, putting it on their face.
I think, you know what? I think you have to put it on their face. You really do. Because to me, it seems like the colors are a little different.
Out for a while.
Even though
knows?
there is that chart that says it's the same, like mine wasn't really the same. It was too
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
So I had to use a darker color.
Yeah. And it's interesting because on Tuesday, everybody was like, okay, Luminous is the way to go. On
Mhm.
Saturday, Alicia came and she had, wait, let you talk. Why don't you just tell your Luminous and Matte story?
I have always been matte. And so when I earned it, I asked Mimi to order the matte. I put it on. This is my favorite part of the new foundation. So little side quest of my story. I put it on. I cried immediately for the next 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to reapply. I didn't have to reapply at all. If you couldn't see my eyes, you would not have known that that I had cried for 20 minutes. Like that is phenomenal foundation. The last foundation didn't do that. So that was my side note. Then at Mimi's, I wiped off half my face and did Luminous on this side. And visually, I think that the Luminous looked better, maybe. Like Larry could barely tell a difference between the two sides, but he did say that the Luminous side looked better, and the I think the complaint about the matte side was that it sinks into the pores and it highlights all of the flaws. But I was not wearing primer, so it would be fun to do that experiment again with primer. I did not like the feel of the Luminous because it's just sticky on my skin. And
So the idea
if I
is
put
you got to
powder
try.
on top. If I put powder on top, I'd be fine. I'm sure.
I'm sending the Zoom. Hang on here. Okay. So who can you invite? Okay, let's take like 2 minutes. Think about people in your life that you know, customers, family. I'm not going to ask you to hand this to me, but write on a piece of paper in front of you or type it on your computer or whatever. Who's 5 women that you know? They have skin. Write it down. Play the game with me. It's the only criteria is they have skin and maybe they're nice. Nice-ish. So I want you to look at that list and invite them for Saturday. And if Saturday doesn't work, then invite them for something else. And if you don't live close, then you can invite them to be on Janice's things on Wednesdays. Okay. Because those are selling appointments. Those are product and selling appointments. Okay. Every Wednesday. All right, so far so good. I am going to start us off here with a snippet from Linda Tupin. Who listened to Linda Tupin? I am going to ask you to raise your hand. Who watched Linda Tupin? Me and Debbie. Okay. All right. So I'm going to play a little snippet. Debbie, before I and Michaelin, what did you get? Did anything stand out to you from that training with Linda Tupin?
Oh my gosh, it was packed full. Whoever hasn't watched it, they can watch it, right?
Yep.
Isn't it recorded?
Yeah.
I think you can watch it on YouTube under Janice Trude's thing.
And I texted it out to everybody too.
It's oh my gosh. It's, you know what? It's amazing. But to me, because I'm such an old Mary Kay girl, I have always loved one-on-one in person. And actually, Linda was talking about that a lot. And so that stood out in my mind for me. Because
I just posted it in the chat again.
Yeah, but there's so much. And then she also talked about, doing it virtual. And oh, you guys, there's just so much information. She is a gem. When you just sit and listen to her, she is so inspiring. She is just like, she makes you love Mary Kay all over again because she's like Mary Kay talking to you. That's the way I feel about Linda. She's so awesome. She really is.
So I'm going to play a little snippet here for you. I think. Oh, good Lord. I had everything set up. Okay. Just look at my Facebook for a second. Okay, so I just put it in the Believe chat and I'm gonna play just like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna ask for 5 minutes of your undivided Linda Tupin attention. And if you can't hear anything, wave at me.
Repeat. All right, let's repeat after me. I am where I am by the choices I have made or I have allowed others to make for me. I am where I am by the choices I have made or I have allowed others to make for me. So congratulations for making the choice. There was lots of things that you can do in May. If you've got kids and grandkids, there was probably 12 school programs you're supposed to be at this week. You made time for your business tonight. And so I say congratulations to each and every one of you. I'm going to take you back in time because this is a really special time for me and Mary Kay because I became a consultant in April in 1982. So 44 years ago, I was you. And I made a goal. This is my date book from 1982. I made a goal when I became a consultant that summer I would give this Mary Kay thing a try, and I would work at having a facial or a party every single day that summer when I wasn't teaching. That was my goal. And so I have a date book to prove it. I have a date book to prove it. Now, did everything hold? No, that's why there's lines crossed through there. But that was my intention. And at that time, I was teaching high school home economics, and I was waiting tables at night for extra money. And so by midsummer, I quickly realized that my Mary Kay business, I would be able to quit waiting tables. And so the other thing that happened this time, 44 years ago, is I used the month of May to get ready for a busy summer. So I set up my office, my home office. I went to my training class. These are my original training notes from my original training class that was held in May of 1982. I set up my original bookkeeping. We have things electronically today, but I still like paper. I still do a lot of things with paper, but this was my original QuickBooks. It's very interesting. I literally wrote down every penny I spent for my Mary Kay business and every penny that came in. 20 some years later, after I started this little notebook, there was a neighbor girl that worked for me for 50 cents, and she would put the labels on my product. Well, 20 years later, she was promoted to one of the local bank executive offices. I want to think she was a vice president. And she invited me to her promotional meeting. I brought this notebook and I had highlighted for their PowerPoint the entries where I had paid Christy 50 cents to put labels on my product. So you never know whose lives you're changing with your Mary Kay business. The other thing I did at this time of the year to prepare myself for my business is I worked on my flip chart. Now, our flip chart was a little bit different than yours, but I worked on my presentation. I'm a praying woman, but I don't expect God to give me the words. He gave me a brain. So I need to use my brain to practice and rehearse. If you're going to be a professional, if this is going to be something that makes money for your family, then you have to treat it like a real job. If you got hired for any corporation in America, there are things you're going to have to memorize, things you're going to have to practice. And I stood in front of a mirror to practice those things. And so that was what I was doing in the summer or in the month of May 44 years ago. I had one regret from that time period, and that was that my director only talked to me about a $600 wholesale beginning inventory. Now, I didn't know any better or any different. And back then, we did not have customer delivery service. We did not have earned discount privileges. And so you had to have a really good stock of inventory. In fact, I regretted the fact that she only talked to me about 600. I really needed 3,600. I had to go to a lot of work, you guys, to get the 600. I went to 4 different banks before I convinced one of them to loan me the money. But the good news is I got my beginning inventory, quickly realized that was not going to be enough, and went back to the same bank to get $2,400 more worth of inventory. And that was my beginning in the business. By the end of the summer, I was able to stop waiting tables. And in 1986, when I was pregnant with my son, which would be 4 years later, I walked out of my teaching position driving a pink Cadillac to school every single day. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about how we have come full circle in society. We have the convenience of the internet. We have earned discount privilege. We have My Shop. We have social media. We have lots of conveniences. But the world has come full circle, and my class tonight is predicting the future. My class is to prepare you for what a Mary Kay consultant will need to do in the era of AI. But before we do, I'm going to share a couple of things with you on the screen tonight. I'm going to actually do quite a bit of screen sharing with you tonight. You have to see my messy, I use my desktop as a file cabinet. I don't know if y'all do that or not. All right. I had hoped Leanne would be able to join me tonight. Leanne is 18 years old. Now, Leanne is what we would call in the traditional generation. This is the generation that's 18 years old right now. And everybody's telling you the same thing about this generation. They want traditional lives. They want to do things the old-fashioned way. They want that peace in their mind. Leanne came into Mary Kay back in late fall for one reason. She is already an entrepreneur. One of the things you're going to learn about 18-year-olds today is they want an entrepreneurial lifestyle. She already was running her own greenhouse while in high school, but she knew she was going to have some off winter months. And so she began her business, I believe, in November. But between January 1st and the end of February, these are her results.
Dang.
She sold $7,481. 6,700 of it was in person around a kitchen table. She facialed 72 people, and 46 of them were first-time customers. Leanne is the future. Leanne is the generation that's coming up. National Sales Director Emeritus Susan Holman just recently taught 2 classes to the national sales directors and the directors around the nation. In her retirement, she is teaching at the college level. And one of her topic is actually working with young people to be entrepreneurs. She emphatically told all of us that were on the call, young women and men today, they want exactly what we have in Mary Kay. They want an entrepreneurial lifestyle. They want to start an entrepreneurial venture. Yeah, we have to change a few of our words. They're a little bit dated, but just like Leanne Ludwig, they want exactly what we have. Now, as I begin to talk to you about AI today and how this all works full circle, just keep those points in mind. Now, one of the questions at our
Okay, I'm going to stop there because we could watch the whole thing. It's so good, right?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
so good. I really want to encourage you, grab the link. It's in the Believe chat and watch it. Okay, she goes on to talk about so many things, but the one thing that really stood out was that 70-year-old women in their 70s are one of the biggest, next to the 18, starting an entrepreneurial venture in their 70s. Okay. So I really want you to grab a hold of that. And I don't think any of us here are in the 18-year-old group. We concur with, none of us are with the 18-year-olds. But so we meet the women who are in our own age range. The women in our own age range have children and grandchildren. Okay. And that's how you meet the 18-year-olds, because the 18-year-olds are the future of our company. And that may or may not be important to you personally, but I really want you to think, if Mary Kay has done anything for you, if it's just touched your life and made you a happier person, given you a place to have some sisterhood, then we want that to be around for the next generation after generation. Correct? Everybody nods. Okay. So we meet the young people through the people who are our age. Okay. And the other thing that she said was 70%, some 70 something percent. Oh, I wrote it down. Women over 55 control 70% of the money in the United States. Okay. Exactly. Wow is right. So we want to be booking with the women who were in their 50s. Okay. And you want to be getting those referrals so that you can also meet the women who are in their 20s. We want all of them. Okay. We want to sell to the women and not write off the women who are in their 70s, because 70 is like the new 50. Okay. So any comments or questions about all of that? Debbie, you look like you want to say something. Is it my
No, I'm
imagination?
good. My brain's just spinning right now.
Yeah.
Every
Well,
time I hear her,
yeah.
it's just it gets you going.
Yeah.
It just does.
Yep. So if you want to make some money, raise your hand. Don't lie. Okay. We all want to make some money, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So in order to do that, guys, what do we need to do? Somebody tell me, what's the first step?
You have to book somebody.
You gotta book somebody. Thank you. You gotta book them. Then you've got to coach the appointment. Then you've got to hold the appointment and rebook and share the business. Okay. if we're not doing that, we're not making, you're going to make some money here and there with people who may have already made a purchase from you, or somebody who sees that you sell Mary Kay and, hey, can I get a mascara? But that is not going to be any kind of life sustaining. I don't care how much money you have. Okay. I don't, if you might be on this call and be very comfortable, and that's amazing. But everyone here is paying, with the exception of probably Regina, I'm guessing, because of where she lives, but I don't know. You're paying $6 a gallon for gas. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So everybody needs money. And women are not going to stop washing their face, and they are not going to stop putting foundation on their face, and they are not going to stop putting lipstick on their face. Y'all understand? Okay. So I've got some, I feel like I've been in so many trainings here lately. So I want to share some tools that I got. Before I do that, oh, look, there's iPhone is joined. I don't know who that is. iPhone, is that Lisa? I'm going to guess it's Lisa.
Yes,
okay.
it's me. Yes, it's me. Sorry.
I'm like, you might be some weirdo just like hanging out to listen to Mary Kay.
I'm a peeper.
Okay, so I've been on all these trainings. I'm going to share some tools with you. Before I share the tools, I want to take you back and remind you that I want to do some sharing appointments, some training appointments. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. We talked about this last week. And I'll start with, so I'm going to show you the tool I'm going to be using. Okay. So I posted in the Believe. Okay. Must refresh. So you got to write down some names of people that you know. Okay. You got to start there. And here is here is an example of a hostess program. Okay. Can somebody tell me, why is it important to have some kind of hostess program?
Well, it's an incentive for
bring people.
Oh,
sorry.
Both of you, Alicia, then Debbie. Go ahead.
I just said it encourages people to bring people.
Okay, Debbie.
Well, it encourages your hostess to actually hold the party, for one thing, because you can book, but you need to hold it. And so if you get their juices rolling on what they can receive, that kind of helps get them interested in actually having the party and inviting as many people as they can.
Perfect. You're both exactly right. So here is an example of a hostess program. Okay. It's similar to something I've seen before, but it's different enough to be like, oh, this is different. Okay. So, okay, the hostess. So if I'm inviting Debbie, and Debbie's gonna be my hostess, and Debbie's job is to invite her friends and family to attend. Okay. But Debbie, as my hostess, is the only one entitled to these whatever your hostess program is. Okay. So this tower of gifts for Debbie, my hostess, if she brings one guest and there's at least $50 in sales, Debbie's going to get 10% off of whatever Debbie buys. Okay. That one guest is paying full price. Okay. If she brings two guests with $100 minimums in purchases, Debbie's going to get 20% off. Okay. So, okay. And then if Debbie brings three guests, the minimum is 150 and Debbie will get 30% off. You guys get where this is going. 4 guests, $200 minimum party, 40% off to Debbie. So if Debbie's going to look at this, what's Debbie going to aim for?
5 to 10.
Right? She's going to invite 5 to 10 so she can get 4, right?
Yeah.
Why would I want to get 10% off if I could get 40% off? Right? And seeing that there's a minimum that has to be sold during the party, is Debbie gonna, and who's Debbie gonna invite? Somebody who doesn't have a job and has no money, or somebody who, you know, likes to indulge in herself?
Someone who has money.
Okay. So you're going to sell some product. And even though Debbie, as your hostess, is going to get 40% off, you're still making 10%. You're still making, if you have 4 guests around a table and they're putting the Ultimate Miracle Set on their face and foundation, the likelihood that you're going to sell more than $200 is very high. Okay. But let's say you only sold $200. You're profiting $100, agreed? You're getting 10% of whatever Debbie bought. And that means Debbie's going to have more products on her in her bathroom. And in a few months, when Debbie needs more, what's Debbie going to do? Is she paying sale again, or is she paying full price?
Full price.
Full price. Okay. So that's one thing for Debbie, our hostess. Okay. You're not losing anything. You're not giving anything away. All right. Debbie can also get prizes. Now, what could the prizes be? Y'all, you get to decide this. Okay. I am not going to tell you that you have to give her a microdermabrasion set and all this stuff. I'm going to say that samples are a prize. Put samples in a cute little bag. That is a prize. Okay. You could go to the Dollar Tree and get a cute little makeup bag. That could be a prize for $1.50, the $1.50 store. Okay. But so Debbie's going to get prizes. If she attends the class, her and 2 guests, Debbie gets a prize. If Debbie gives me her guest list with at least 5 people on it, Debbie gets another prize. 2 bookings at the appointment, Debbie gets another prize. You see where this is going? And if Debbie sells $200 to people that don't come in outside sales, okay, you're going to make $100 and Debbie's going to get another prize. If you're someone who has inventory sitting on your shelf, and perhaps you have some old eyeshadows, okay, or an at play, you know what I'm saying, like old discontinued stuff, you can use those things if you choose. If Debbie agrees to learn about the opportunity, you can give Debbie a prize. And then if she agrees to be a model at a training, okay, so she comes to a Wednesday event, or she comes to a Saturday in-person event, she gets another prize. And if there's $500 in sales, you're going to give her something else, and not including the outside sales. So $500 spent from the people who are sitting around the kitchen table. Okay. And, you might make that one. Maybe that's a hand cream. Maybe it's a mascara. That's up to you completely. All right. The idea isn't to give away the kitchen sink, but the idea is to have there be enough in it for her where you are definitely, you're oogling her you're showering her with lots of love and making her feel super important. If you were the hostess and you got 7 prizes and 40% off, how would you feel? Anybody?
Excited.
Right.
Yeah.
And who is the most likely to become a consultant out of the people that are there? Typically,
The hostess.
the hostess. Now you're given the hostess this paper, and it has on here an easy invite script for her to use with her friends. Okay. You can't control if she does or not, but hey, it says, hey, I booked a fun self-care beauty experience. I'd love for you to come. It's free, relaxing, and only about an hour. And I have 5 spots. Can I save you one? Okay, easy peasy. So you can choose to use this or not use this. That is 100% up to you. National Sales Director Emeritus Jillian Ortega introduced this to us last night at the masterclass. So I just was like, I've got to show it to you. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
do they still have Shop My Party?
No.
So I'm just I was sitting here as you went through the $200 in pre-class sales.
Mhm.
So if you had your hostess say, if you said, if somebody can't come,
Mhm.
you give them my website, right? And they can shop on there. So what would you do to attach that sale to that party? How could you do that?
You would
Is there
probably,
space? Is there space for them anywhere on when they put an order to put like Tammy's party, or you know what I mean?
I'm gonna be very honest. I think that there's like a code that they can put, like where they put Debbie as the hostess. But if there is not, the simplest way is just to ask your hostess, who did you give my website to? You know,
Oh,
and let
okay.
and let's just be real, okay? Until you are working to become a director or earn your queen of sale, Queen's Court of Sales ring, the likelihood that you're going to be like, where did that order come from? You know what I mean? When you have
Yeah.
20 hostesses doing this, then otherwise
Yeah.
it's going to be pretty obvious, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I was just saying because I mean that would be the easiest way for her to get
Great.
outside sales is on your website, because I don't think I'm not sure too many people want to go around with a book and invoices like we used to years and years and years ago, you know.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
Unless she's just going into work and passing out a book and that you've given her,
Oh, yeah.
or a
Yeah.
virtual book, but yeah, it's a good point, Deb. It's a
Yeah.
good point. Any other questions? Okay, so this is on the belief page. And then we've got an income producing activity. Now, Jillian Ortega had her face, so AI put my face on it, okay? So try not to laugh. But you can print this. You can do whatever you choose to do with it. But here's the deal, guys. If you want to make money, you've got to decide the activity level that you are going to consistently commit to. You may or may not have heard of the term of a basement and a balcony goal. Okay. A balcony goal might be I'm not going to stop until I have 2 bookings every single day. A basement goal might be I am going to reach out to 3 people every single day, Monday through Friday. Okay. But you get to determine what those goals are, whatever you can consistently hold yourself to. Okay. But this helps keep you focused, because you know what? Do you ever feel like I've done so much stuff, and really what you've done is like searched on Facebook and watched a training, like I've been guilty
I
of
would
this
never
last couple
feel like that.
So this helps you track, how many faces did I do this week? How many classes did I hold? How many bookings did I make? If I make 1 booking, how many appointments are holding?
If you make 1 booking,
Huh?
well, it may not hold. So,
Exactly. So how many do you need to typically book to hold 1?
5.
4, 5.
5 appointments to get 1?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. Typically two
Or
or 3.
3. 3.
Yeah. Typically 2 or 3 to hold 1. Okay. So you've got to overbook yourself so that you get what you want. If you know that you want to hold 1 appointment every week, and maybe that appointment is going to be out in virtual with Janice, that's fine. Maybe it's going to be a Saturday at Mimi's house. That's fine. But you get the idea. How many sharing appointments did I do, and how many new team members did I add? Okay. So questions about that? Okay. I also posted, I posted it. There it is. A file. Now, here, let's do this for a second. So many things. You guys should go on here. Oh my goodness sakes. Okay, right here. So when we do some sharing appointments, you and I, we do 3 of them together, you're going to get a pair of earrings. Okay. When we do 3 more, you're going to get this necklace and bracelet set. And maybe the bracelet has to become part of the necklace, and that's fine. Okay. But they're really, those of you who saw it last Tuesday, were those nice?
Mm-hmm.
They were, right? Pretty nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through when we do this, because I want you to be 100% knowing exactly what is going to happen. Why does this keep popping up? Okay. I want you to know exactly what's going to happen, and it's this right here. Okay. This has Jillian's name on it, but because I didn't fix it yet, but that's fine. All right. So during that sharing appointment, here's what's going to happen. Okay. You'll have this paper. I'll have this paper. When I'm teaching it to you, I'm going to be reading. You're going to be watching and writing. Okay. But here's all it's going to be. Opening statement. Thanks for doing this call today, Donna. I'd like to learn more about you, share some things about me and Mary Kay, and answer any questions you may have and get your opinion at the end of the call. Sound good? Okay, let's get started. So we'll open the interview. Hey, Donna, tell me a little bit about yourself. And she will tell you what's an average person gonna, how's somebody gonna respond to tell me a little bit about yourself? Somebody just jump in, play with me.
I'm a mom. I work for blah de blah.
Okay. How many kids do you have?
1.
Okay. How old, boy or girl? Okay. So you get her to expand. If she just says, I'm a mom and I work for blah de blah, get her to expand a little bit. Okay. If you're working, I heard you say you work for blah de blah. What do you like most about your job? Okay. What am I looking for there?
Where she's unhappy with her job or opportunity.
Okay. If you could write the ideal career description, what 2 or 3 things would be the most important to you? Somebody just tell me, what's one thing that would be important to you in your ideal career? Shout it out. Don't be afraid to unmute.
Freedom.
Flexibility.
Flexibility. What else?
Working when I want to.
Working when I want to. What else? If you have a job right now, tell me, what would you like to change about it? What's something that you would want to make it ideal?
More money.
More money. Okay. All right. So you're going to get a lot of the same kind of answers from people. Okay. It's not shocking. So what do you know about Mary Kay? So she's going to tell you what she knows. She knows that her consultant is nice and, gives her a cute bag and she knows about pink cars and whatnot. Okay. And so then I'm going to ask her, would earning extra money be of value to you right now? What's she going to say?
Yes.
Yes. If you were to ever consider a career with Mary Kay, what would you need to know to make a decision? And you shut your mouth, okay? And you let her tell you, okay? What do you think she might, she could say all sorts of things. Would you guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I want to walk through this with you and some of your people in your life. And primarily, ladies, seriously, hear my heart. Of course, I would love to add people to your team. I'm not, there's no secret about that. But the biggest thing I want to do is to help empower you, especially with this question right here. If you ever considered a career, Mary Kay, what would you need to know to make a decision? Because that is where you're going to, if you talk to 50 people, you're going to get 50 answers. Okay. And the more equipped that you can be to respond to that, the more confident you're going to feel. Okay. So this is what I want to go through with you. It goes through closing the interview. Did you learn? Okay, before that, it says share some information about Mary Kay on page 2. So it just goes through some of our key things. It goes through Mrs. Cab. Okay. I am not going to read this to you because we'll run out of time, but it does say how much it costs to get started. It only costs $35 to join Mary Kay with the eStart package that includes access to your online shop and a variety of samples. And you can choose to add a Pro Start package for an additional $90 if you want. That includes over $400 in retail products and a professional bag. So then you come back up here. Did you learn something new about Mary Kay? What questions do you have for me? Okay. And honestly, at the beginning, I tell her, I want you to think of questions because I want you to try to stump me. Okay. Because your questions are what's going to help your consultant learn. And then you're just taking her temperature on a 1 to 3 scale, rate yourself on your interest level in being a consultant. I love Mary Kay products and will remain a customer paying full price. You have piqued my interest and I would like for you to follow up with me within 24 hours. Or it's $35 to get started. I want to join your team. Okay, so she's going to tell you she's a 1, 2, or 3. If there's a 24-hour follow-up, there's a dialogue here for you. Okay. But this is what I want to go through with you guys. Okay. So I want to do that this week. Okay. I want to do that with some of you this week. And I know I've talked to a few of you who said, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get some names together. I want the training. Let's do it after whatever date. So, and if I haven't talked to you, then, and you're like, yeah, I want to learn, I want to add this to my tool belt, then let's do it. Okay. Sound like a plan? Okay. Because your team is your future. Okay. Your customers are going to help. You're going to, make money with your customers right now, but your team is your future. When something happens in your family, like y'all, my mom's been in the hospital 5 times in the last year. When something happens with her, I still work from the hospital, but it's the team that is the glue. Okay. Can you imagine if something happened to your husband, if he broke his big toe or something, and you couldn't work right now, but you had a team that was continuing to work? You get the point. Work while we can, while we are healthy and doing things. Let's have a team for each of you. Okay. So that it keeps you going. Does that make sense? I need to find a new line. I hate saying that. All right. Questions or comments, anything? Anything that you're like, I'm going to do that. Or maybe you didn't like if you like the Hostess program, then run with it. If you're like, I'd rather do blah, 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 then do your thing. But the idea is let's go. Okay. All right. Debbie, I know we kind of sort of talked. Did you have a closing?
Oh, you know what? It's really weird. I was playing on Chat GPT today, and I asked it to give me a statement, a motivational statement that I could use daily for my Mary Kay business. And this is what it came up with. Today, I will show up with confidence, kindness, and purpose. Every conversation is an opportunity to bless someone, build a relationship, and grow my business. I believe in the value I offer, the lives I can touch, and the success that is possible for me. Small, consistent actions create big results, and today is another step toward my goals.
I love it.
Isn't that good?
So good.
So, you know
So
what? I have it saved. So, when I read that, I went, oh my gosh, that is so good to read every day.
feel
So,
free to
and
post.
then here's a shorter version. I am confident, capable, and committed. I will serve others well, stay consistent, and trust that my efforts today are creating tomorrow's success.
Beautiful.
I think those are just so good. So, anyway, when you know what, and I did that when you asked me about a closing, I was sitting there and I said, I couldn't think of anything. And I go, okay, I need a something daily motivational thing, you know? And so I thought that was awesome.
It
So
is awesome.
ChatGPT is really a cool thing.
Yeah.
It really is. I can get addicted to it. So it's
Tape
good.
it on your mirror, record it and listen to it, say it out loud, you know, keep it in front of you. It's really good.
Mhm.
Okay, ladies, let's make it a very strong week. And I don't